I am the first one up for this Hypo-Thon from 12 a.m. to 1 a.m. And I really do want to thank Motivation the Weightlifting Geek for giving me the opportunity to be a part of this Hypo-Thon. I've done it before. Miss T with the T was hosted it a couple of times, so this probably is maybe my third time doing this Hypo-Thon. So what I'm gonna do is, before I actually get into it, the concepts that I'm gonna talk about in this very important Hypo-Thon is I'm gonna present my updated strategic business plan. That's the first topic I'm gonna present. The second topic I'm gonna talk about, lecture on, is why people who are addicted to alcohol or drugs cannot stop. So I'm gonna elaborate on that from a perspective as a licensed clinical addiction expert. I've been credentialed with my addiction credentials in 3 different states for over 20 plus years. I'm credentialed in the state of Virginia, North Carolina, and Georgia. So that I want to raise awareness to that, because if the audience is aware, we're in a opiate epidemic. Drug use is on the rise. So I'm gonna talk a little bit more about that. And the third topic concept I'm gonna lecture on is, are you addicted to social media? Any type of addiction, audience, is a behavioral addiction. So, that's going to be the focus of my lecture. I just want to state to the viewer, I'm going to acknowledge people as they chime in, but my style in terms of how I present as a content creator, I'm going to present this in a lecture format. I'm going to acknowledge people, but one of the things, because I'm really in the zone versus going into lecture dialogue, so it's going to be more lecture format. I'm gonna acknowledge folks. Everybody's style is their style. So, with that being said, let's get down to the first order of business. I'm literally gonna present my updated strategic business plan. I'm gonna tell anybody. I don't care what you're doing. If you're a content creator, if you have your own personal business, I don't care if it's selling products or selling merchandise or fixing computers or working on cars or whatever your business is. You have got to have you got to have a strategic business plan. I've been in business for over 20 plus years. My company is Parents and Associates Resource Center. Throughout my journey as a business owner, I've done many things under my company. At one point, I provided substance abuse evaluations, court order evaluations, clinical supervision training, made a lot of money. But over the past few years, I phased out all of that and added on new service, such as I wrote my book under my company. I've restarted in terms of providing professional business coaching for folks who want to go into an executed contract for me to develop that strategic plan. So I'm going to literally present my updated business plan. My business plan is 19 pages long. And periodically you got to be touching that business plan, updating that business plan, revising that business plan, and that's how you measure the progress of your business. And for example, on my updated strategic business plan, if I take a look at page 3 of my business plan, one of the goals I have on my business plans under my company as Parents and Associates Resource Center, and I'm going to say this, if you are a content creator, think of your YouTube channel more of just an additional stream of income, because YouTube don't pay my bills. My company, my YouTube channel just celebrated its 3rd year anniversary, June 6th of 2023. I've been monetized since January of 2023. But however, my company, Paris and Associates Resource Center, been in existence for over 20 years, long before YouTube. So I say that to say, you know, look at your YouTube channel as another stream of income, but have your own business separate from YouTube. Because if YouTube was to shut me down right now today, that's not going to stop my company, Paris and Associates Resource Center, to generate income in my company is very strong. So for example, on my business plan, I have a goal on my business plan. On every business plan, you got to have a goal. And one of my goals I had was for my book title, Awake Financial Freedom, to be showed in multiple book shows throughout the year as a way to market my book. And I'm here to tell you, that literally was a goal. So for my book, Awake Financial Freedom, to be shown in multiple bookstores throughout the year as a way to market my book title, Awake Financial Freedom. And how that happened is my publishing company, in partnership with Combined Book Exhibit, in partnership with my publishing company, Page Publishing Company, in collaboration, what they did was Page Publishing Company and Combined Book Exhibit, they just literally displayed my book title, Awake Financial Freedom, at major national and international book shows and expos. It allow authors to showcase their book to a collective worldwide audience of over 2 million attendees and readers. That is something that Combined Book Exhibit and Page Publishing Company did, those two stakeholders, to market my book that hit all major bookstores over a year and a half ago. And on any business plan, in the middle of that business plan, you got to have measurable objectives that link to the goal. So those two stakeholders, when they did that linked to the goal on the far left of my business plan, and the date that was achieved, they showcased my book at a book expo, November 24th, 2022. They also showcased it again, May 23rd, 24th, and 25th of 2023. So I literally, when that was done, I literally went into my business plan and wrote down the date that was achieved, because I wrote my book under my company, Paris and Associates Resource Center, and that's one of the primary services that I provide. Also is continuously marketing my book, generate money that way, and it's indicated on my business plan. Another goal I have on my business plan, I have a goal on my business plan, page 4 of my business plan, is I literally have to attain 10 business coaching customers, because that's the primary service that I provide under my company. 10 business coaching customers, that's a goal. And the measurable objective that I have on my business plan that link to the goal is to market my new service in the natural environment, a minimum of 1 time per week. I'm literally, anywhere I go, I'm taking my business cards to my company to market my business. I'll market it on my YouTube channel. That's another thing. If you have your own business, also utilize your YouTube channel as a platform to steer business towards your primary business. And I'm here to tell you. So, and also I'm always marketing my services. I'm passing out business cards throughout the week. I'm utilizing my YouTube channel to market my company, to market Paris and Associates. That is a measurable objective. And the date that I achieved my 10 customers was January 14, 2023. It's the date that I attained my 10 customers on my wait list. On my wait list, because August of this year, I will be in full retirement, in my customers already aware that I am not providing those services until after I retire, and I only want a maximum of 10 because my agenda is to keep that in hobby mode, because I'm gonna have multiple retirement checks hit me for the rest of my life. So my primary service under my company, I only want a maximum of 10, and that's another stream of income. So I literally have that on my business plan, business plan as a goal with measurable objectives in the achievement date. I'm gonna give you another example of my goal. And you notice, although I'm a content creator, these goals that I'm talking about in terms under my company, Patterson Associates Resource Center, are not YouTube goals. Although I do have YouTube goals on here, but understand my company is standalone outside of YouTube. I just use YouTube to market my other services, to market my company, to market my book, to drive sales. And I'm here to tell you, I'm gonna give you another goal. Ain't playing. This is real talk, because I talk to a lot of people from all walks of life, and I listen to people because I'm a licensed therapist, so I gotta listen. And when they're telling me all of these things that they're doing this business, and they making music, or they're selling t-shirts, or they're a content creator, or they're cosmetology, and I'm listening and I'm absorbing. And by the time I listen for a good hour, I'm going to then skillfully ask them the thought-provoking question: do you have a business plan on paper with identified goals and a good 4 measurable objectives that link to the goal with projected due date? And when I ask them that question, they pause. Because if you do not have a projected due date or due date for that goal, then how are you going to measure? How are you going to hold yourself accountable for the goal achievement? And I'm here to tell you. And I'm always asking that question. I have another goal on my business plan, which is a living, breathing document. Here we go. To have my book title, here we go, Awake Financial Freedom. To have my book title, Awake Financial Freedom, to be completed in audio book. Although my book hit all major bookstores over a year and a half ago, you can get the soft copy, the ebook version. You can get it from Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, in any platform. However, my selected narrator is in the studio right now working to convert this published work into a audio book, which is going to drive sales. That is a goal. That is a goal. The concept of this book is I give a powerful testimony on how I rose from financial destruction to complete financial freedom. So as we speak, my publishers sent me 3 editions of 3 narrators. And I listened to all 3 of those narrators. In the 3rd narrator, it was something about her voice tone, voice pitch that was congruent to the testimony in the concept of my book. And that's who I selected. So as we speak, this book will pretty soon be available in audio book, which is going to drive more sales. And I wrote this book under my company. I'm going to say this again. If YouTube was to shut Marie Holiday down right now, that's not going to stop me getting my royalty checks every quarter from my publisher. That's not going to stop me from generating revenue under Patterson Associates that's been strong for 20-something years. And that validates, treat your YouTube channel as a way to generate income and market your other services, your products, and goods under your company. I would strongly recommend, as a businessman or businesswoman, have a separate website showcasing your business. Because I'm going to put in the description of this live-a-thon a link to my business website. Check it out. So that's a goal. To have my book title, Awake Financial Freedom, converted into an audio book, measurable objectives in the middle of the business plan. Audiobook Network, who is the publisher that's going to convert my book into audiobook, because I've already gone through Page Publishing to do the soft copy of the book. Audiobook Network, the selected stakeholder to convert my book title, Awake Financial Freedom, into an audiobook. Those services was paid in full by me. That's something I had to do because they ain't going to do it for free. But it's a business write-off. So Marie Holiday to contract with Audiobook Network about the contract to convert this published work into an audiobook. That bill was paid in full February 28th, 2023. So as we speak, the narrator is in the studio converting this book into an audiobook. I'm going to share another goal on my business plan that's a living, breathing document. You got to be touching this business plan, looking at this business plan, revising this business plan, this basic business one-on-one, and I'm here to tell you. Another goal on this business plan under my company, Paris and Associates Resource Center. The goal, here we go. The goal is to purchase my trailer in cash as a way to set the stage for my retirement by August of 2023. And the measurable objective that links to that goal, I will select and make cash payment of the trailer of my choice through my realtor in Florida. The projected completion date, the date that I actually achieved that goal, was February 28th, 2023. So my retirement trailer is waiting for me, all paid in cash. So when I get up out of this workforce, the only bills in the world I'm gonna have, ladies and gentlemen, is my food, cell phone bill, and insurance. And that is it. Because I talk about in my powerful book, Awake Financial Freedom, how when God gave me the skills to control and master my money, and when I had that spiritual battle with God in 2012, I talk about that battle in this book. When God gave me the skills to rise above my financial situation and to write this testimony, one of the things I did was I was able, once I learned how to master my money, I literally paid off a 30-year mortgage 20 years early and sold it and made a huge profit and reinvested that money and used some of that money to buy this trailer in cash to set the stage for retirement. And I'm here to tell you, and that was on my strategic business plan, the goal on the far left with measurable objectives in the middle and the date that that goal was achieved. Because when you're touching this business plan and writing down those goals as you achieve those business plan, it's a powerful motivational driving force to push you forward. And I'm here to tell you another goal I got on this business plan. I literally have on my business plan to attain, this is actually a YouTube goal, to attain 1,300 subscribers. That's the goal. And the measurable steps, what I had to do was to market in the real world and attain a minimum of 9 natural subscribers. You notice I said the real world. You notice I said the natural environment. Because when I go places, I engage people, I engage strangers into prolonged dialogue. And by the time I do that, then I'm going to skillfully let them know I have a YouTube channel and get them to subscribe on the spot and to complete 2 to 3 live streams per week. So the date that I achieved that goal of my first 1,300 subscribers was April the 8th, 2023. And I'm here to tell you, I got another goal on this business plan. I have a goal to attain, oh, that's a different page, the one I want to present. Here we go. I have a goal on my business plan. It's actually a YouTube goal to attain 7,500 plus watch hours within 365 days. If the audience is aware, again, my YouTube channel got monetized January of 2023, and one of the benchmarks in order to meet criteria of getting monetized is you got to attain 4,000 hours within 365 days or within 12 months. But I have a goal to attain 7,500 watch hours within 365 days within a 12-month time frame. And the measurable steps that I took, because I literally achieved that goal June 9th, 2023. I literally, before this Hypo-Thon, went in and updated my business plan because I hit that benchmark on June 9th, 2023. But let me share with the world some steps I took, some measurable objectives that's indicated in my business plan on what I did to accomplish that tremendous feat of 7,500 watch hours within 365 days. One of the things I did from a business standpoint, a strategy standpoint, which is a business write-off, to invest $300 per month in YouTube advertising. There you go, to advertise my content to the world. And I'm here to tell you that $300 I'm spending per month is a business write-off, so I ain't losing nothing. It's gonna break even. So now my YouTube channel, and you know I'm gonna throw some videos in there to market Passion Associates Resource Center. So to invest $300 per month on paid YouTube advertising, to complete a minimum of 5 shorts per week, to complete a minimum of 5 live streams a week, and to meet with my 6 super subscribers, individuals who I met in the natural environment, who subscribed at my channel. Once a month, we meet at a local coffee shop in the real world to engage in dialogue. It ain't all about this YouTube channel. I'm gonna delve deep, and I ask those super subscribers information about their goals and dreams and aspirations and future plans. I have to understand their mindset, and I'm here to tell you. And oh, by the way, when I meet them at the coffee shop in the natural environment and pick up the tab, that's a business write-off. So that goal was literally achieved June 9th, 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna say this again. If you do not have a business plan in place, because one of the primary services, you know, I got a master's degree in human resource management, master's in addiction counseling, but I learned a long time ago, I have always had a business plan. If you do not have this, my business plan, 19 pages long. If you ain't got this, you know, and this evidence, it ain't all about no YouTube. This here is this. Every time I mark off a goal, then I'm gonna write down the next goal, and the next goal, and the next goal, and it does not ever stop. This is this is the what behind what you do, where you can touch it and feel it and look at it and revise it. I should give this to my accountant because I want them to see the what behind in terms of how I'm making revenue under my company. There you go. If even though I don't need a business loan, but if you needed a business loan, you know, these banks, they're going to want to see a document in place, the driving force, the goals and objectives and your accomplishment under that business so you can showcase how you're making money. This is Basic Business 101, and I'm here to tell you. I mean, Basic Business 101. I've been doing this for 20 plus years. I can do it in my sleep. And that's one of the reasons I would have a maximum of 10 paid customers. I got them on a wait list they're going to enter into a contractual. Check out my business website, read my forms, read that contractual agreement, and they're going to get they're going to get 4 coaching sessions at a maximum of 30 minutes. And at the end of the 4th coaching session, they will have the powerful strategic business plan completed on Word document so they can know the what behind what they do as a businessman and a businesswoman. And I'm here to tell you, Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you, I'm gonna just can't say this enough. If you don't have your business plan on paper, you are setting yourself up for failure as a businessman or a businesswoman. And I'm here to tell you, I speak to people, they have a whole lot of ideas, but by the time I get done listening for 1 hour, I'm always gonna ask, do you have a business plan on paper? And on the far left, I get real specific. And on the far left of the business plan, do you have goals? And in the middle of the business plan, do you have 4 measurable objectives that link to each goal? And then on the far right, do you have a projected due date? And if a person can't answer that, I rest my case, and I'm here to tell you. So now, I'm getting ready to shift gears again, getting ready to go into the topic of why people who are addicted to alcohol or drugs cannot stop. Again, I'm a licensed clinical addiction specialist. I'm licensed in North Carolina. I'm licensed in Virginia. I'm licensed in Georgia. I clinically supervise other addiction experts we provide treatment in a residential treatment program for adults who are battling to save their life. I'm getting ready to retire in August. I've been in this field for over 20 something years. I've been credentialed for over 20 something years. But however, over the past, I would say 7-8 years, what I'm observing with people who are addicted to alcohol or drugs, the opiates, the phenol, the cocaine, the methamphetamine, the alcohol, the Xanax, the benzos, the list goes on. The marijuana, marijuana is a drug, the nicotine. And what I'm noticing as an addiction expert is the age of onset. Because when we do a comprehensive clinical assessment to determine the level of care that the client needs, one of the things I'm noticing is the age of onset. The person may be 30 or 40, 50 years old, addicted to their drug of choice. But one of the questions we always ask them, how young were you when you first started? How young were you when you first started alcohol and marijuana? And I'm beginning to hear the age of onset younger and younger, 5 years old. 5 years old, drinking alcohol, smoking marijuana, snorting cocaine. So by the time they're 10, they're in full-blown addiction. So the age of onset, this is raising awareness. I can't work in this field without, from time to time, talking about alcohol and drug addiction and posing that question, why is it people who are addicted to alcohol or drugs cannot stop? And I'm going to give you the answer to that question. You may have people in this audience who are addicted to alcohol or drugs, may have died from alcohol or drug addiction, in active addiction right now as we speak, and I'm here to tell you. So why people who are addicted to alcohol or drugs cannot stop, and the reason they can't stop because of the powerful word of psychological dependency. We're talking about the mind right now. And what psychological dependency is and what makes it so powerful and has a direct impact on why the person, that mother, that father, that sister, the brother, the child, the niece, or whoever cannot stop from the alcohol or drug use. I don't care if it's the alcohol, the wine, the vodka, the Xanax pills, the marijuana, the opiates, the phenol, the methamphetamine, cocaine, the crack cocaine. I can go on and on. And the reason why they cannot stop is because psychological dependency is made up of 4 parts. And I'm going to explain each one. Is number 1 is state-dependent learning. Number 2 is preoccupation. Number 3 is psychological defenses. And number 4 is the relationship with the alcohol or drugs. Those 4 powerful components is what makes up psychological dependency. And what I mean by state-dependent learning is when a person becomes so accustomed to using alcohol or drugs when they're performing certain tasks and duties, something as simple as getting up in the morning. Most people, they get up in the morning, drink coffee, but some people, when they get up in the morning or get up in the afternoon or get up at night, the first thing they reach for is the alcohol or drugs. Rather it's the benzos or the vodka, the cocaine or whatever. So what state-dependent learning is when a person becomes so accustomed to performing certain tasks, skills, duties, get going in the morning, they cannot do that unless they are high on alcohol or drugs. Something as simple as house chores. They can't even get the house chores done without using alcohol or drugs. And even if they got a job by this point, don't think they ain't sneaking into that bathroom on the job to consume more of the substance. And what that does is increase their tolerance, and they're going to want more and more and more of the alcohol or drugs. So what state-dependent learning is when a person becomes accustomed to performing certain tasks, skills, and duty only when they're alcohol or drug impaired. And that prepares them deeper and deeper into their addiction. And then we got preoccupation. Preoccupation is another component of psychological dependency. And what preoccupation is, the person who's addicted to alcohol or drugs, they become so preoccupied, so mentally obsessed in feeding their addiction. They can be at a family event, a family function, a cookout, a wedding, even at a funeral, or sitting down watching a movie with a family, any kind of event, family function. Physically they're there, but mentally their mind is on feeding their addiction. They're watching the clock, thinking, wishing that event will hurry up so they can go feed that addiction, more alcohol or drug use. And people will begin to notice this. So preoccupation is when that person they are driven, they are oblivious to what's going on. And sometimes they'll even be at a funeral, be hoping that funeral will hurry up so they can go meet with the dope man or feed their addiction. And what that does is propel them deeper and deeper into alcoholism and drug addiction. And then we got the psychological defenses. Psychological defenses are unconscious. They're designed to trick you. And what happens is when friends, family members, loved ones, the sister, the mother, the father, the niece, the nephew, the employer, they may approach the person and they may say things like, I'm concerned about your alcohol or drug use. I'm concerned about your missed appointments, not showing up to family functions. And how that person will respond, they will respond in a defensive way, because inside of them, they know what they're doing is wrong. But what psychological defenses is a powerful shield to keep the user from hearing the truth. And what that does is propel them deeper and deeper into their addiction. And then we got the fourth component of psychological dependency, which is the relationship with alcohol or drugs. By this stage of the game, the person alcohol or drug use is so severe, but they may have now destroyed all healthy relationships in their life with the mother, father, sister, brother, the employer. So now what they're going to do at this stage of the game, they're going to formulate a relationship with the alcohol or drugs. They're going to lie about the true severity of their addiction. So now they have formulated that relationship with the alcohol or drugs. So ladies and gentlemen, because of the state-dependent learning, in the preoccupation, in the psychological defenses, in the relationship with the alcohol or drugs, all going on in the mind, is the reason why when a person becomes addicted to alcohol or drugs, they cannot stop. And that is a powerful piece right there when you really break down the power of psychological dependency and why the person cannot just stop the alcohol or drugs. At this stage of the game, they're going to need professional help from addiction experts, addictionologists, the nurses, in order to restore their life, to regain their life. And I'm here to tell you, the program that I'm a supervisor at, I'm going to tell you, we're at full capacity. Addiction ain't going nowhere. This thing is real. I'm in the trenches. This is real. And It's up to 240 patients in that program. All 240 have been mandated by a judge to enter a 90-day treatment program, meaning their addiction got so out of control and explosive to the point it got brought to attention to the community, the judge, and it's mandated, not voluntary. Meaning if you don't go, you go to jail, you go to prison. So just wrap your mind around that for a moment. And we at full capacity year round. This thing is getting out of hand. I'm in the trenches. You gotta raise the awareness. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to do a topic on this, because the disease of alcoholism or drug addiction is the destroyer of all destroyers. It doesn't just affect the individual, it affects everyone around them. The mother, the father, the sister, the brother, the child, the employer, the community. It has a direct impact on everyone around that person. And I'm here to tell you. And we really do need to just pay attention to our loved ones. We need to pay attention to our children, because as many times throughout my career, I've done substance abuse clinical assessments, and I've been noticing more and more when I ask that question, how young were you when you begun to use substance? In a 5, 6 years old, that's out of control. And I'm here to tell you. And by the time they're 10 years old, they're a full-blown addict. And I'm here. And they may start it out with the alcohol and marijuana at the age of 5, but then by the time they're 10, they don't progress up to the cocaine, the methamphetamine, and shooting up heroin. It's out of control. And I'm here to tell you. So if you have any specific questions about this, shoot me your questions. I just really wanted to raise awareness in terms of the thought-provoking question, why people cannot stop from alcohol and drugs, and now we know the answer to that. Also, I want to shift gears and talk about a very important topic, which is alcoholism, drug addiction is also a behavioral addiction. It is a behavioral addiction. I also want to talk about the very important question, and really pay attention to this, because towards the latter part of this lecture, I am going to, we're going to do like a little questionnaire activity. So you're going to need a pencil and some paper. So go ahead and grab that. But the focus of this lecture is, which I think is a very fitting lecture, are you addicted to social media? Are you addicted to social media? Social media addiction is an unhealthy dependency on interactive platforms such as Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and all of the social media platforms out there. It would be impossible to name them all. Like most dependencies, because I've already presented on alcohol and drug dependency, alcohol and drug addiction, like most dependencies, social media addiction manifests as overuse and difficulty in abstaining. Ironically, one common effect of the problem is social isolation. So, the thought-provoking question is, how do you know if you are addicted to social media? Signs that you may be addicted to social media include spending a large amount of time on social media, thinking about social media when you're not using it, spending less time doing other activities, hobbies, or spending time with others in order to use social media. Using social media to the point that it negatively affects different areas of your life, work, school, relationships, etc. Experiencing negative feelings like anxiety and irritability when you cannot access social media. Using social media as a way to cope with negative emotions. You know, many people wonder how much time is too much in spending on social media. There are currently no official guidelines in this area. However, the American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry recommends that children's screen time be limited to 1 hour per day, and on the weekends, it can be up to 3 hours per day on the weekends. For teens and adults, there's no set amount of time that is right for all people. But to determine what is best for you, think about how much time you spend on social media. Because inside of a person, they know how much time they spending on social media. You know, already know. You know, now you can go to your a phone. It'll let you know how long you've been on social media. How much of the time is beneficial to you? Does your social media use interfere with other important activities? Does it negatively impact your mental health? And I'm here to tell you. So again, like I said, you know, make sure for this part, make sure you got something to write with, a piece of paper, because we're going to do a toxic social media activity. So if you don't have paper and pencil, I'll pause a little bit and give you time to go ahead and get something to write with in some paper. So with this toxic social media activity, and again, social media addiction is another behavioral addiction. So on your paper, I want you to write down 1 through 13. So write 1 through 13 on your paper. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to read through 13 questions. And after each question, and be honest, after each question, I want you to write down, I want you to answer either yes or no. So I'm going to read the question and you're going to answer yes or no. Number 1, do you consume social media mindlessly? Do you post constantly? Has social media changed your habits or opinions? Do you compare yourself to others needlessly? Do you get withdrawal when social media is not available? And when they say withdrawal, it could be something that's problems concentrating, irritability, anxious, when social media is not available. Is social media the first thing you reach for when bored or distracted? You're going to answer yes or no. Is social media the first thing you do in the morning? Do you spend hours looking at nonsense? Do you take photos of literally everything? Do you hear imaginary notifications? Do your friends or family only contact you via social media? Has social media taken over every activity? Do you closely monitor your likes? So if you answered yes to most of these questions, then it is most likely your behavior towards social media is toxic and addicted. And there are so many 1-800 numbers out there where people can call to get help with a social media addiction. Licensed therapists who are qualified in treating people with social media addiction, because it's a behavioral addiction similar to alcohol and drugs. So there's counseling out there. There's 1-800 numbers out there in terms, and this has really become a real issue. I know people who have lost really good jobs because they could not stay off social media. They could not stay off the phone because employers are not paying people to be on social media when they need to be performing the essential functions of their job. You have a lot of employers who now have incorporated policies and procedures on place with restrictions of social media on the job. And a lot of employers now, if you're not on your official break, they have literally in policy, if you are caught on your phone, caught on social media, you can lose your job behind that. So, employers are fed up. They're hiring people and paying people to perform the essential functions of their job versus being on social media for hours and hours on end and you ain't getting your work done. This is it really is another real issue. So we talked about, I presented information on my updated strategic business plan. I'm going to put in the description of this Hypo-Thon a link to my business website. Check out my business website. Check out my forms. I have a store on my business website. Just a lot of information about my credentials, specifics about the services for individuals who want to hire me to develop their strategic business plan. So check out my business website. I talked about and I answered a question in terms of why people who are addicted to alcohol or drugs cannot stop. And we know now because of the psychological dependency, the state-dependent learning, the relationship with alcohol or drugs, and the preoccupation. And I also presented information about, are you addicted to social media? And we also did a social media activity. Share this information. There may be people out that you may know who may need to hear this information. This is valuable information. If you have additional questions, shoot me an email. And also, I want to spend a little bit of time talking about the direction that I'm taking my YouTube channel. Although YouTube is a service as a content creator that I provide under my company, Paris and Associates Resource Center. And one of the services I provide as a content creator is I share my knowledge, skills, and experience through various thought-provoking, motivational, educational topics of value. That is a service that I do as a YouTube content creator. But one of the things I'm doing in terms of the direction I'm taking my channel, if you pay attention to my homepage, in moving forward, now there is going to be a high percentage of my live stream lectures where I'm deliberately setting it for members only. This lecture, this Hypo-Thon, I will set it for the public domain. There still are a small percentages of my lecture I set for the public domain, and there's a high percentage of my lectures I'm only setting for members only, because as a monetized content creator, and I need for everybody to hear this, whether you monetize or not, we all have knowledge, skills, abilities unique to us as a content creator. And at a certain point, you got to attach a price tag to that, because me, myself, I do a tremendous amount of due diligence behind the scene preparing my topics, researching my topics, blocking out time for every single lecture I do. And you gotta, don't devalue yourself. Know your value, know your worth, and at a certain point, you will know when it's time to begin to start attaching a price tag to what you do as a content creator. And I'm here to tell you. So, and that's one of the driving forces in the direction I'm taking my channel, in terms of beginning to set a high percentage of my motivational, educational, thought-provoking topics for members only, and a small percent would be for the public domain. So that's one direction I'm taking my channel. And another direction I'm taking it is my goal, another goal, and I actually got that on my business plan, is I only want a maximum of 10 members under my channel. I currently have, and I'm gonna call them my power members, and because I currently have 2 power members under my channel, and the reason why I really only want 10 members, you can check out my membership perks for level 1 and level 2. The standard membership perks that everybody gonna get. You got your loyalty badges, you got the shout outs. I do exclusive videos, but for my 10 members, because I only want 8 more, for my power 10 members, another powerful perk that they're gonna get, that individuals in my first 10 gonna get, is on a rotational basis. I run the playlist. I'm going to run the playlist of my first 10 members. Now, if I get 11 members, that's fine. They'll still get the appropriate perks for whatever level they are in terms of what they join in. But not everybody would get the powerful perk of me on a rotational basis using a device in my home to run that playlist. Because I'm going to tell you something. You got to understand the power of cross collaboration. And because I have 6 super subscribers on their own accord that I met in the natural environment, where I was noticing my watch hours rising and rising and rising, in probably about 3 months in the future, when I met my power subscribers at the local coffee shop, without me even finding out, without me even knowing it, they were running my playlist, all 6 of them, every month, as another way to support my channel, because they support my brand. They appreciate these powerful lectures I do. So they were doing that and sharing my information. And probably about 3 months after doing that, they said, oh, we forgot to tell you, every month we run your playlist as another way to show support. And we support your brand, we support your channel, we support your business. They all bought my book, and that had a direct impact. By them running my playlist, that had a direct impact on pushing my channel into the algorithm, pushing my views, pushing my watch hours. And I literally said to them, you know what, y'all just made me think of something. If you all, my super subscribers, without me even knowing about it, running my playlist, then one of the business things I'm going to do under my YouTube channel, only for my first 10 members, is one of the power perks I'm going to give them is on a rotational basis. I'm going to run their playlist, because that will have a direct impact on pushing that channel into the YouTube algorithm. It will have a direct impact on their watch hours, and it will have a direct impact on their views. And I'm here to tell you. And the only reason why I'm gonna give that powerful perk to my first 10, because I want to maintain a balance in my life. YouTube is not all I do, and I will maintain a balance in my life, because the way I look at it, I'm very selective on who I collaborate with anyway. Because if a content creator is negative, pessimistic, not following the YouTube guidelines, I don't want you as a member. I don't want to attach myself with negativity, because the way I look at it, there's a big old wide world out there, and I have a right as a content creator to accept or decline on who I choose to be a part of my team. And I'm here to tell you. So that's one of the things I want to share in terms of the direction I'm taking my YouTube channel. Because my goal is I'm keeping my channel and my company in hobby mode. And so I can still have time to enjoy my retirement, to smell the roses. I don't have to be worried about, I got all these customers to do professional business coaching stuff. Well, I may be out of the country somewhere. That's one of the reasons I'm cutting everything off at 10 customers, and I only want 10 good, serious members under my YouTube channel. And that's my goal, and I'm here to tell you. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have. I hope you all have gotten something out of this powerful lecture in terms of the specific topics I did, raising awareness about substance abuse. Share this information. This one of these lectures I will keep in the public domain. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, support my channel, be a part of my channel as it goes after its first 1,500 subscriber milestone. Check out my 2 different levels of memberships. Take a look at that perks, and just remember, if you're a part of that first 10 members, you'll be a part of my power members who get on that list on a rotational basis. They have me to use a device in my home to run your playlist. So that's all I have. Simplify, Simple Fidelis, and I'm going to leave you in the care of your own conscience. Have a great day.